Man, I can't believe it's the 20th anniversary. Probably just like y'all can't believe it's been 20 years.
Yeah, it's true.
Have y'all watched it over the years, or is this like, have y'all watched it since it's come out on Blu-ray or anything like that? And what were your thoughts?
Sure,
now?
yeah. No, I mean, I got asked, and I did a little online thing today. Considering, new technology, blah, 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 would you, if you could do the Sandlot over, would you change anything? And my answer was no.
Yeah.
Nope. I wouldn't change a single thing because the tools and the resources at the time were utterly appropriate to tell that story. Like the Beast, we built the puppet.
Yeah.
Well, we built a bunch of puppets because the puppet was appropriate. Today, everybody want to throw CG all over that. But
which I hate though.
Yeah,
the puppets is the best. I think they need a nix CGI.
Yeah,
so
I mean, some it depends, right? But I mean, today that would make it either
Avatar. Who's going to argue with that?
but those tools are appropriate
that's right.
to tell that.
Or the Hobbit with that.
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
But then when you're
But
right, the puppets.
No.
That's what was so great about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know it wasn't Yoda
like
was a
Jim Henson
puppet.
Stuff,
Yeah.
I just think it's
Yeah, and
it
even
takes
miniature-
you out of the movie from CG.
Totally
I think
does.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think
That was the great thing about Matrix 1 is there were so many actual legitimate stunts in it.
Sure. Yeah, the original Yoda. That's Yoda.
Yeah.
The Yoda in the last. I was like,
Flippin'. Yoda.
Yoda. Doesn't look.
Yeah. I'm very excited about 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
Because isn't
J.J.
Brian?
Abrams.
Yeah. Oh yeah. J.J. Abrams
So
is
he's
directing. No.
No, yeah, no. Can't argue with that
Yeah.
guy. He's good.
Hopefully he'll bring it back.
That's,
Form of glory.
Well, we hope so.
Yeah.
We
I'm
hope
sure he
so.
will. I mean, he's awesome.
So, coming 20 years later, what were your fondest memories and the worst memories making this movie? Because, I mean, this is an iconic movie in history, so...
Well, we think so. We like to think so.
Yeah.
We've been told so.
Okay.
And we're appreciative of that. Worst thing? Like 112 degrees in Salt Lake City, Utah that summer. It was broiling hot.
Yeah, we were baking like toasted cheese.
Yeah,
And
indeed.
most of the film
Indeed.
take place outside.
Yeah.
And it
In
looks
the
like
sun.
shot all on location. Was it?
Yeah.
Mostly?
The only thing we did
The
on
Dodger
a
Stadium.
we did Dodger Stadium, which is location.
Oh, right.
But I
yeah.
mean, we built the interior. That treehouse was completely functional, interior and exterior. But for the nighttime scene, we didn't want to go up there at night, so we built it in a little warehouse. The interior, we recreated it. So,
Oh my god! I don't
and
even
Mike,
remember that.
the bedroom, Scotty's bedroom,
Yeah, Scotty's bedroom.
and Benny's bedroom. We built those tiny.
I do
little
remember
sets.
those.
That's it. Just three.
That's
little
where the
sets.
babe scene
That's
was
it,
filmed.
exactly.
Okay.
Because we want to be able to control the lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
And everything else, even the interior of Scotty's house was a location. Everything else was a location. Vincent's drugstore, everything, the pool, everything.
That's great.
Yeah.
Was there any, since there's so many quotable lines that people still quote today on a daily basis, was there anything improv or was it all written?
Oh no, we did plenty of improv. Yeah.
Like what was stuff at...
All improv written.
Oh.
It was written improv.
Yeah.
Day of written improv.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, like, things like "You're Killing Me, Smalls," that was written.
Okay.
Heroes Get Remembered, Legends Never Die. That's written.
You play ball like a girl. Written. Right.
Yeah, but a couple, yes,
Yeah.
and a couple of other ones though. As we worked it out on the day.
Although not written to be delivered like that either.
No,
like
not at
written
all.
to probably be delivered like you play ball like a girl.
You play like
But
but then on
yeah.
the day it's like, oh god, you guys get into this
Get into
verbal
it.
tussle,
It's like the worst thing ever said ever.
Yeah.
Scream it at him.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then it just comes through. And then the stuff when they're playing the little league team when he's behind the mound, that is all me and him. Right there, literally, as the camera is about to roll or is rolling.
Yeah.
Here, say this, say this.
Yeah, I remember you yelling lines at me from
Yeah.
behind the monitor. Say this, and
Like
I literally
editor.
go.
Would you-
yeah,
yeah.
and then I'd say
I
it.
get to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The great thing is I had a mask on, so
Yeah.
before for half of it, so you couldn't see me cracking up.
Oh, good. I have to watch to see if I could
Yeah,
check
I'm
that
sure
out.
that. Yeah.
The part when one of my favorite scenes in the movie is the July 4th night game.
Oh, yeah.
How'd you come up with that? Because when
Right.
one of my favorite scenes in film, that's one of them with Ray Charles thing. What?
Well, I mean, it was written, there was
Yeah.
only one night game a year.
Yeah.
And I think, believe it or not, when I wrote that, sometimes, there's no way to say it, so you have to invent a word or something or some contractive kind of thing just to get the visual thing going in your head. And I think the term that I put was, they do this, they describe what they do, and then at the end of that scene I wrote Aurora Americanalis. And that's what I envisioned, 4th of July, kids, baseball, the purity of the game, America, and red, white, and blue, man. And so we went out, and it was difficult, one, because they're kid actors, and you cannot use them past a certain hour at night, so we had to shoot all that stuff very fast.
Was everybody under the age of 15? Or?
Yeah.
Well, sure, yeah.
13. I don't
Yeah,
think anyone was 14.
No,
Maybe,
I don't think so.
Maybe
I think
Mike
I was
Tower?
like 13 when it came out.
Yeah, so we're the same age.
And so no CG and that stuff. So what we did, how we did that was, and again, without the kind of budget to put up a bunch of freaking lights and all that, and wanting to shoot high speed, in other words, slow motion stuff, and the exposure not being all that. So what we did was I said, okay, guys, you all come running onto the thing, and I kept the horizon about halfway through the frame. Remember, it's a 235 anamorphic frame, so that the sky is basically black, which became an AirSats matte. Okay, and then a couple days later, we still have no idea how we were going to get fireworks in there. My DP comes and he goes, dude, he's a British guy. He goes, mate, are the real 4th of July coming up? I said, yeah. And he goes, and do you know what Salt Lake City does? I go, no. And he goes, they set off fireworks. And I go, really? And he goes, yes. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a couple of cameras, and I'm going to go up at the top of the hotel, and I'm going to have a cigar and shoot the fireworks. And he did. Yeah. And he shot the fireworks. Those fireworks are literally the fireworks from awesome. Salt Lake City. And we just sort of did a soft map. And then for the kids, the slow motion thing, when Benny hits the ball and it goes up in the air and they go to follow it, and they're seeing the fireworks, they're turning as the camera's right here, all handheld. And I had three grips. They had little tiny Fresnel lights, one with a green gel, one with a blue gel, one with a red gel, and they would just flick them. So it looked
I remember that.
like the fireworks. Exactly. And it was very simple, but very, very effective stuff.
Oh, it was a powerful scene.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It's amazing, too, because I remember how fast we had, too.
Oh, man.
I remember how it was like, run out, do it. Mm-hmm. But it's amazing that you caught.
Yeah.
You got the moment.
At that point, though, everybody was so comfortable. They wouldn't even think about being squints or think about being ham. They just were. It was cool. So when I said, look, dude, okay, on the count of 3, I want you to walk up here and be amazed. Okay, cool. And they'd walk up there and be amazed. I don't think anybody got more than 1 or 2 takes on that entire night. That was it.
I remember not. I rember thinking to myself, wow, that was short.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Which brings me to the other iconic scene, the vomit scene.
Oh, yes.
That was only 1 or 2 takes because we were all drenched.
Again, it was a night scene, and that was basically mount 2 cameras on the front of the seat car like that, and then stop the ride. One kid gets in, another kid behind him, and every one of the kids, when you cut to them, are actually sitting in the same seat.
Okay.
They would just switched them out. Everybody got like 1 minute of ride, and I would just sit there with a bullhorn going, "You're having fun," and they'd, "No, you're not having fun," and they'd go, "Now you're getting sick," and blow it, cut it, and then the next guy go in, and then we mixed up the vomit.
Yeah.
What was the vomit made out of?
Split pea soup and beans.
Baked beans and oatmeal and some little bit water and a movie gelatin. It's this special movie gelatin. You don't give it a little thickness.
And nobody really got sick?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
All right. Being that age, playing baseball for basically a summer to jog, guys, bond, stay in the same rooms, pull pranks on each other, or...
We definitely bonded. We didn't stay in the same rooms, but definitely pulled pranks on each other, absolutely.
Any ones you remember?
I remember getting punched in the face by Shane Obazinski. A little scrap, and then he clocked me.
Really?
But he was a lot smaller than me, so it was, I kind of chuckled, But, I mean, we were just like brothers, we all fought. We all had amazing times. We were all, You know, you would fight, and then 30 seconds later, you'd be best friends. Like, it was nothing was ever legitimate. Like, in the bad way, it was great. We had an amazing time. We would hang out on the weekends. Brandon Adams used to wear cross colors because it was crisscross was huge back then. So I went and bought my own cross colors. He got me into some cross colors. You know,
he was like a little.
Yeah,
dude, his pants were like.
Yeah, he was.
Boxers showing. He was a little.
They were great friends, and then Mike Vitar, you know, was like the cool guy. He was our cool older guy that everyone wanted to hang out with, but he was warm, and his brother, I think, was his set guardian, and he was awesome, and so you know, even the vomit scene, it's like it was all so easy because who wouldn't want to do it?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Who wouldn't want to do any of that? The scene where I'm running out of the house right before the 4th of July game, it's like, here, go grab a bunch of hot dogs and shove them in your mouth and run to the game. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not, this isn't, nothing was tough because it was all so well written for 13-year-olds, you know?
So, and I still think to this day, like, there's so few movies that really have an impact like this movie does with characters, and it has the time, and, you know, when we were all growing up in our generation, still everybody in Little League and everybody going with their Little League team to see it, and it just stays with you forever. And we always want that to come back. So I really love the movie, and I still do.
I listen. I still love watching it.
Do you,
I like it both as just as watching the movie and you know, remembering making it and then remembering writing it. Saying, yeah, man, that was, you know.
When you watch it, do any like certain memories come up for you as you're just
talking about it brings back so many
all the
memories.
time. It's like I did this involuntary thing at one of the last screenings as I'm at my table and people are signing stuff for people and all that, and the movie's playing kind of like over my shoulder on the jumbotron. I can hear it, and a certain scene will come up, and I think it was There's Only One Night Game a Year, and I go, oh man, I love this scene. And I turned around like that, and people started laughing. I wasn't trying to be funny, you know? Like, I really do love that scene, you know? Because it is the movie of all the movies that I've ever made, and this is... I'm very grateful, because look, you can go an entire career as an artist or a filmmaker and never have this. It's the only movie I ever made that is exactly the way I wanted it to be. I didn't get any grief. I didn't have a committee telling me what to do. I didn't get any notes, or the notes that I did get, you know, from my editor or this or that. I didn't have producers barking at me, telling me to do stupid crap, or hurry up. I had a great cast. I had a great crew, and everybody was making the same movie at the same time. They could see, and I did an effective job of communicating what I wanted to see. So I'm very grateful that
it's like
I have
pitching a perfect game.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
where you're like, how did that just happen?
It did just happen. You go,
happen.
wow, you know. And I very much hope to have that experience again.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up one of my, I guess, bittersweet. It was Radio Flyer, and I would love to know, like. Yeah. I would love to read your script for that.
Well, I'll tell you one better. I wrote that as a novel first.
Okay.
And it has never been published, but in about a month and a half, it is going to be published.
Really?
Yeah. So I'll send it to you in non-DRM ebook format, and you can read it.
Please do, because I heard that it was completely different. And...
Dude, trust me, if you like the movie, you're gonna just get a box of tissues when you read this book.
Excellent.
I mean, I'm not bragging.
Okay.
I've been told that by a very select group of people that I've let read it. They're like, "Oh man, you just got to publish this." You know what I'm saying?
So did you enjoy what was released?
I would have done it different.
Did it done different? Yeah.
I'm very, very grateful to Dick Donner. He included me in every step of the way, and I learned a lifetime.
Because it was your first.
I was. I got canned off of directing that, but we don't want to talk. That story's been written so many times. It was just baptism by fire. But I mean, I was grateful. I learned more during that film, listening and watching Mr. Donner, than I learned in 6 years of film school and this and that. I was exceedingly lucky and very grateful that he included me and his wife too, Lauren, in all of that. The movie, no, I would have done it different. He saw and I don't think this is not a judgment or a slam, but I mean, I think Dick saw something more like My Life as a Dog, where I saw something more like 400 Blows.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's kind of that kind of a difference. But look, I respect him as a filmmaker deeply. He's a great man. And everybody does it different, man. If everybody did it the same, there'd only be one guy doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And I loved your few episodes on Boston Legal.
Oh, yeah.
How was that working with...
That was awesome. I actually, the coolest part is I didn't work a lot with William Shatner, but there were some scenes, and I had you just know him from growing up. My generation was past Star Trek, but so you're kind of thinking of him as that, but then you see him in his currently, and he's so talented. He's such a good actor. So I love doing that. That was rough because they had called me, and I think the next season was the last season, and they said David E. Kelley really responded, and he's thinking of making you a regular, which would have been great. And then the show ended, but I would have loved to have been a regular on that show. Yeah, I mean that show was an awesome one to do because I haven't done a lot of television, but the television that I have done, I think I've been really lucky on the ones I've done.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your most thrilling filmmaking experiences? Acting, film, directing, most thrilling?
I think probably working with Pat Renna.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, every day I work with myself, it's just thrilling. Oh no,
Look,
it's hard to top it. I'd like to again, but since we're talking about it, I've definitely had plenty of other very exciting, fun movies to do, and every job. Son-in-Law was great. I did a movie called Dorm Days, which I was a little older, and it was a lot of fun. The Boston Legal was great. You're working with really talented actors, but those movie experiences end when they're done, and when the movie comes out, and then it's it was a good job, it was a good production, and you're on to the next one. This has been a lifetime, and there isn't anything that can top that.
Do people still stop you on the street?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it happens a lot, but no matter what I do, it'll always. It was my first too. It was it's so many things like that, and I don't know what else I'll be. In 20 years from now, whatever I do, will I be going on a tour for the 20th anniversary of that film? I mean, it just goes to show how good it was and how great of a job that he did, and everyone that was on it did.
Did you hear that, Hollywood?
Yeah. Can we do that again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Make me sound better.
Yeah.
Are there any artists, directors, actors, films that really helped you shape your creative life growing up that got you into the business?
I mean, movies saved my life when I was a kid, literally. Okay, because it's where I would escape to. Sometimes my little brother, I would just go. And in those days, you go on Saturday, you could pay 50 cents to get in to see like a Ray Harryhausen movie or something like that on a double header. Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, or The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, and something else. And you could sit there literally from noon until like 8 at night and watch it 5 times in a row or 4 times in a row. And if you had $1, you could still get a soda, 2 bags of Sugar Babies, and all that cool stuff. That saved my life. And the moment I decided I wanted to become a filmmaker was probably when I saw Star Wars. I was about 14 years old. Yeah. And I went to see that, and I remember thinking, I cannot believe that this is a movie. It's real. I said, I don't know what that is, but I need to do that. I want to do that. And that was it for me. That just in stone.
Did you ever try to make your own version of Star Wars with home video?
No. I did stupid little, claymated animated stuff in high school for Cinema 101 and like that. And, went to film school and, goofed around there, Godard is God, that kind of stuff. Don't we all? And then just, after college, starved to death for 3 years and wrote Radio Flyer. There you go.
What's the history about you?
I would say, because my perspective has been as an actor, but, The Godfather to me was probably the moment. I'm an Italian from Boston, so you watch The Godfather, and I don't, what year was it made? 1972?
72, yeah.
So I was 7 years not born when it came out. So when I finally saw it and things like that, I think that's when I went, whoa, you know, I want to do this. I want to do this art. I love this. And, you know, honestly, The Goonies for me is my Sandlot. Like, that definitely is. And so I think that helped shape it. And then movies like Swingers, you know, something like that. You're like, that movie to me is the movie that tells everyone that you can do this. Not in a bad way of like anyone can do this, but it goes, hey, if you put your heart to it, you can accomplish this, because these guys came out of nowhere and made this incredible movie, you know. So I think those are the ones that did that. And for acting, and Swingers for, you know, I'm now in pre-production on the first producing and acting movie that I'm doing, which is, I would say that Swingers probably spawned that side of things for me, you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's